Welcome to Java Forum. Now we are going to see a very much awaited release from Oracle, that is Oracle Database 2020 Express Edition. So we are going to install this Oracle Database 2020 Express Edition on Oracle Linux 8 operating system. So here you can see that I have already installed Oracle Linux 8 on VirtualBox 6. So let me show the settings for you. So here you can see that I have inserted the optical drive and allocated 8 GB RAM, 4 CPU core, and hard disk size more than 50 GB. So network will be internal network, that is host only adapter, so that I can't connect to internet because it's offline install only are going to do. So I'm not going to connect internet directly. Okay, let us start Oracle Linux 8 operating system. Okay, so before we proceed the installation, there are some limitations for Oracle Database 2020 Express Edition. So it will support up to 2 CPU cores. It supports up to 2 GB RAM, 12 GB of data is supported, and 3 pluggable database supported. Single instance at the single instance database. So clustering is not supported in Oracle Database 2020 Express Edition. So these are the limitations. So if you want more feature means you can upgrade to Oracle Database 2020 Enterprise or Standard Editions. Okay. So this Oracle Database 2020 is very useful for the beginners who try to learn SQL, PLSQL, etc. Okay, let us start. So I am checking the Oracle Linux 8 operating system version. So here you can see this is the Oracle Linux Server 8.3. Minimum it should be 8.2. I think below that it will not be supported. So minimum Oracle Linux 8.2 should be installed. Okay. Next up I am checking the hard disk space. So hard disk space, you can see that I have more hard disk space. So Oracle database will be installed under /opt directory. Make sure that you have enough space under /opt directory, at least 10 GB free space. Okay. Next, RAM. You can see I have more than 5 GB of free memory and more than 5 GB swap space. So 2 GB RAM and minimum 2 GB of swap space is needed for Oracle database. So if you have more than 2 GB of RAM also, it will not support. It will support up to 2 GB RAM only. Okay. Next, very important step. I am having one static IP address assigned to this machine. So make sure that you have one IP address allocated to this machine, because IP address is very important here. And one more thing, host name. So host name is a very important thing here. So I am going to map the host name to the IP address. So I already set the host name using the hostname command, hostnamectl command. So now I am going to map the host name to the static IP address. So this is a fully qualified domain name. Another one is alias name. So this is alias name. So make sure that you have set the, that is mapped the entries in /etc/host file as a root user. Okay. Otherwise Oracle installation will be failing. Okay. Make sure that you have mapped the fully qualified domain name and alias name to the IP address. Okay. Next step is I am going to the directory where I have downloaded the RPM files. So I have provided the download link for the RPM files which I are going to install now. So we need 2 RPM files to install Oracle Database 2020 Express Edition on Oracle Linux 8 operating system. So this is Enterprise Linux 8 version. So I am going to EL8 directory. So many RPMs I have downloaded here. So here we need pre-install RPM. Okay, so I am opening the terminal here. I am going to install this RPM as a root user. So Oracle database pre-install 21C RPM for Enterprise Linux 8. So this should be installed first. Next we are going to install Oracle database Express Edition 21C RPM for Enterprise Linux 8. Okay, now let us try to install Oracle database pre-install 21C RPM and let us see what is going to happen. So this pre-install 21C RPM file will install the necessary settings, required settings, configuration files for Oracle database 21C Express Edition. So now I am logging as a root user and I am going to install this pre-install 21C RPM file. So it's asking for some dependencies. So we are going to install these dependencies. What we are going to do next step is make sure that you have inserted the Oracle Linux DVD, Oracle Linux 8 DVD ISO file. So all the RPMs, all the dependent RPMs are available in the DVD ISO file itself. No need to download from internet externally. Okay, so these are the list of RPMs for Oracle Linux 8. So I am going to install this RPM in a single shot. Okay, so note down these RPM names by pausing this video. Yes, so Oracle dependencies, dependent RPMs are getting installed here. Okay, now let us try to reinstall the pre-install 21C RPM file. So I have provided the download links in the description of this video for all the RPM files. This is a purely offline install. Okay, so Oracle database 21C pre-install RPM is installed successfully. Okay, this pre-install RPM will modify some of the configuration files, and it will create a Oracle user called Oracle. Okay, after installation, you can manually verify under /etc directory or var/log directory. Okay, so here you can see that /etc/sysctl.d directory. You can see that configuration files are created by Oracle pre-install 21C installer. So these are the Oracle kernel parameters required by Oracle database. So these are set automatically. No need to set up manually. sysctl.conf. So these kernel parameters are very important, the mandatory. So also you can see that sysctl.conf under /etc also modified. Okay. Okay, next. So as I told you, under /etc /security, you can see limits.d. So there is this configuration file also is modified. So it will provide file limits. Okay, it will give you the details about the file limits for the Oracle user. So as I told you earlier, user called Oracle, Linux user Oracle will be created. So limits.conf file will be modified. Now next step is we are going to verify the log files. So /var/log you can see some of the directories are created by pre-install RPM. So let us go into the directory. So some of the log files are very important here. So in case installation is getting failed means you can verify these log files. See, this log file provide you all the details. So what it's doing is it created some group, okay, user groups, and assigned some user to that group. That is, user called Oracle is created and is assigned to the oinstall group. And also it created sysctl-conf and limits.conf. So it take the backup of previous configuration files. So and also you can see other settings are also modified accordingly. So no need of manual work here. So everything is done automatically. So if you want to see the log files of pre-install means you can go to this path under /var/log directory. So oracle kernel.log is the name of that log file. It will give you all the detail about the pre-installer. Okay. Next I am going to that software directory. Now let us try to install the Oracle database 21C Express Edition RPM. Login as a root user. Okay, this is the command used to install Oracle database Express Edition 21C RPM. So this will take some time. Okay, you need to wait for some time. So it depends upon your CPU speed, everything. Yes, so Oracle database Express Edition 21C is installed. So this Oracle software will be installed under /opt directory. So this RPM will create database, default database called XC and pluggable database XCPDB1, and it will create DBA user system and PDB admin. Okay, so RPM installation is successful. So some post installation script will be executed. Okay, to configure Oracle database XC, optionally modify the parameters in /etc/sysconfig/oracle xc21c.conf and then execute /etc/initd/oracle xc21c. Okay, now I am going to open this configuration file. So this configuration file shows the optional parameters, that is listener port, enterprise manager port, DB file destination, DB domain, skip validation is true or false. So you can modify if you need it. So I am not going to touch this file. Let it be the default settings. Okay. Now I am going to execute this /etc/initd configure. So this will configure the Oracle services. So Oracle database will be installed as services here. Okay, it will ask for the password. So this password is used for the system and PDB admin users. So make sure that you have provided the password in alphanumeric, at least with the one capital letter, at least with the one small letter, and one number. Okay, so now you can see that it started configuring the Oracle database XC. So this will take some time. Please wait. Depends upon your CPU speed. Yes, so you can see that Oracle database XCPDB1, that is one pluggable database also is created by default. and enterprise manager also is started running on the port 5500. Okay, so if you want to check the progress of the installer, you can go to this log file. Okay, so I'm highlighting the log file path. I'm going to open that log file. So under /opt/oracle, under configuration tool log files, configure cfg tool logs /dbca/xe. That is the path. So you can see the progress of the installer in this log file. So there are many log files under /opt/oracle/cfg tool logs. If you get free time, go through these log files. In case any database failure during installation, that is installation failure means, you can verify this log file. So only I am showing these log files, very important. So under /var/log also some log files are created. So this is the directory where you can see the log file of Oracle installer. So install.log. So you can verify here also. See, lot of details are here. So in case of any installation failure, you can verify this log. Okay, for that reason only I am showing the log files, and it will be very useful. Okay, next I am going to /opt directory. So this is the directory structure of Oracle database 2016 Express Edition. So here I am going to product directory 2016 DB home XE. So this is the Oracle DB home database home directory for XE database. So you can see bin directory also there. So that bin directory contains a lot of executable files like SQL plus tool, etc. Okay, next step what I am going to do is I am going to /opt/oracle LSFNLTR. So here you can see that user called Oracle is created and it is assigned to the oinstall group. Okay, so this Oracle user is a default user who is going to manage the Oracle database. Okay, so you no need to create Oracle user; it is automatically created. So now I am going to modify the password for this Oracle user. Okay, so I am modifying the password for this Oracle user using passwd command. So new password is set. Okay, now what I am going to do is I am going to log off the current user. Okay, so current user does not going to manage this database and it does not have any permission. Only Oracle user only is going to manage the database. So I am logging off the current user and I am going to log in as a Oracle user now. Okay, you can see that Oracle user is listed. So I am logging as a Oracle user. Yes. So once I have logged in, I am going to home directory. So hidden files will be there. I am showing the enabling show hidden files. You can see the bash_profile is there. So I am going to set the some basic environment variables. So there are a lot of Oracle environment variables. So I am going to set only basic thing. So Oracle home. So export Oracle_home. So this is the environment variable which shows which maps the Oracle database home directory /opt/oracle/product/21c/db home xe. So this is the Oracle home directory. Next Oracle_sid, that is database name. So xe is default database name. So this basic environment variable only I am setting. So there are a lot of environment variables. So as of now this is enough. Okay, now I am going to append the path with this Oracle home, so that all the executable files under Oracle home bin directory will be available in the Linux path. so that you can execute the commands, Oracle commands. So save the bash profile. Make sure that syntax is correct, otherwise it will not work. Okay. Next step is I am going to /etc directory. I am going to init.d directory. Okay. So init.d directory, as a Linux users, everyone knows that software services will be, that is software as services, Linux service. So here you can see that Oracle is installed as a Linux service under /etc/init.d. So the script will be executed once you start and stop the Oracle database as a Linux service. This script will be called. Make sure that this is installed under /etc/init.d directory. Okay. Okay, now I am going to reboot the machine. Okay, I am going to restart this Oracle Linux 8 operating system itself to make all the changes to be effect. I am restarting the entire operating system. Okay, next I have restarted the operating system successfully. I am logging as Oracle user. First step is I am going to start the Oracle database 2020 Express edition. So first command, I am checking the status, systemctl status oracle-xe-2020. So it's showing it's as inactive, that is it's not started. Systemctl start oracle-xe-2020. So this will start the Oracle database 2020 Express edition. So we need admin privileges to start this Oracle services. Okay, this will start the Oracle database and Oracle listener. Okay, so Oracle database and Oracle listener are the two separate process. So this systemctl start command will start the database and Oracle listener. So no need to start manually. Everything is taken care by this startup script, which I have shown in /et/init.d directory, right? So that script will take care everything. Okay, so I think Oracle database 2020 Express edition is started. Now let me check the status. Yes, so you can see that Oracle database 2020 Express edition is started successfully. Okay, next step is I am going to verify using SQL Plus tool. So SQL Plus /assistdba. So I am running some query here. Yes, so I can able to connect Oracle database 2020 using SQL Plus tool locally. Okay, locally I can able to connect. Next, Oracle listener. So this is Oracle listener. LSN or CTL status will show the status of Oracle listener. So you can see Oracle listener is started by default. So this is the listener.ora file. You can see the entries in listener.ora. Let me open the file. So this is a very important file. So Oracle listener is a very important process used to connect the database externally. So 1521 is a default port. So if you are expert, means you can modify the listener.ora file. So in later videos I will show you how to modify the Oracle listener parameters. Okay. Next, I am opening Firefox browser locally. So locally I am going to check whether I can able to connect to Enterprise Manager for this 20NC Express Edition database. So Enterprise Manager for Express Edition is not that much useful. So it is used for monitoring the database. So monitoring data will be displayed in Enterprise Manager. So this is the port number for Enterprise Manager 5500/CM. So I am going to log in as a sys user. Password which I have provided during the install. Yes, so I can able to connect Oracle Enterprise Manager Database Express. So all the monitoring data will be displayed here. So you can't do a very special task through this portal. So this will be useful for the beginners, and it will use for monitoring Oracle database, and performance details also displayed here. So you can navigate all the links in Enterprise Manager Database Express. So it will provide you the basic details. Okay, I am logging off Enterprise Manager. So Enterprise Manager is minimized, features are minimized. So previous version, that is Oracle 12c and all, having a lot of features in Enterprise Manager. Now those features are minimized. Okay, now next step is very important. So I am going to unblock the database port using firewall command. So I am unblocking the port 1521. So this is the database port, so that you can access the database externally. Next, I am unblocking Enterprise Manager port 5500, so that you can access the database and Enterprise Manager externally from this operating system. So this is the command. So make sure that you have executed this command as a root user. Okay, so everything is done. Locally I can able to connect. Now I am going to connect externally. Okay, so I have already installed Oracle SQL Developer. So Oracle SQL Developer 21c. So make sure that you have installed the latest version of Oracle SQL Developer to connect Oracle Database 21c Express Edition. So I am giving some connection name. So Oracle Linux 8 we are using. So accordingly I am giving some connection name, and sys username sys role sysdba. Select the role as sysdba, very important, and provide the password, dba password. So hostname I am providing the static IP address which I have allocated this to this machine, and SID will be XE. Okay, test. Yes, it's successful. So I can able to connect Oracle Database 21c Express Edition outside of the Linux box. So SQL Developer is running on Windows. So successfully it is connected. So in later video we are going to upcoming videos we are going to see how to create Oracle user, how to create pluggable database user, and how to create insert records in table. Okay, so I am running some query here in SQL Developer. So yes, successful. Okay, so now I am going to execute this store procedure. So this is the command used to execute the store procedure. So the store procedure will enable the Oracle Enterprise Manager. You can access the Enterprise Manager outside the Linux box. So I am opening one browser here on Windows operating system. So from Windows browser, I can able to access the Oracle Enterprise Manager, which is running on the Linux box. So for that reason only, I have unblocked the port on firewall previously. Okay. So I have logged into the Oracle Enterprise Manager successfully from Windows operating system. So make sure that you have unblocked the Enterprise Manager port on Oracle database port. Okay, that's fine. So now I am going to close the connection. Next step is I am going to show you how to start and stop the Oracle database 21XE Express Edition manually. Okay, so now we have started the database using the command. So now let me stop the database using the command. So now I am stopping the database using the systemctl command. Okay. So this will stop the Oracle database and Oracle listener. So both are get stopped here. Okay. Systemctl stop Oracle XE-21C. So this is an automated process. So after this, we are going to see how to start and stop the Oracle database manually. So which every DBA should know. So every beginner should know that. Okay, you can see that status that Oracle services stopped here, and listener, Oracle listener also stopped here. Okay, now let us start the Oracle database 21C Express Edition manually using SQL Plus. So you can see that it shows connected to an idle instance. Startup, that's it. So it will mount the database and it will open the connections. Yes, database mounted and connections are opened here. I am running one basic query here. Yes, so this is the command used to start the Oracle database manually. Next, Oracle listener, LSNR CTL start. So this will start the Oracle listener. That's it. So as I told you earlier, Oracle listener is a very important process used to connect the database externally. Okay, you can see that Oracle listener is up and running here. Okay, let me try it once again in SQL Developer. So after manual restarting, I am trying to connect through SQL Developer. So finally, Oracle database 21C Express Edition installation on Oracle Linux 8 operating system is installed successfully. So make sure that you have enough RAM, that is 2 GB RAM, 2 GB swap, one static IP address, and host name, especially host name is very important here. Host name mapped to that IP address, and dependencies, that Oracle dependent RPMs which I have shown previously, right? So the dependent RPMs installed. Okay, so make sure this 5 steps done carefully. Yes, I can able to connect after the manual restart of the Oracle database 2020 Express Edition. Okay, I am closing the connection. Now I am going to show you how to shut down the Oracle database 2020 Express Edition manually. First I am stopping the Oracle listener. So this is the command used to stop the Oracle listener, lsnrctl space stop. Next I am going to log into SQL Plus tool. Shutdown immediate. That's it. So shutdown immediate command will stop all the database process. So that's all about Oracle Database 2020 Express Edition installation. Stay tuned for more videos. So finally, we are going to see how to connect to the container database and pluggable database users with SQL Developer. So first, we are going to see how to connect to SQL Developer as a sys user, and I'm going to create a common user. Okay, so I have connected to the database as a sys user. Now I am going to create one common user called c#Scott. So this is the SQL query used to create a user. So you can see that user c#Scott is got created. Next I am going to grant some privileges. Grant unlimited table space to c#Scott, and grant connect resource DBA to c#Scott. So this will give a privilege of creating tables, inserting records, etc., creating procedures, creating triggers. Okay, so I have granted privileges to c#Scott. Now next step, second step is we are going to connect c#Scott user from SQL Developer. So I am creating one new connection. So username should be c#Scott. So c# is mandatory here for a common user. So password. So database SID is XC, that is Express Edition database. Yes. So I can able to connect as a c#Scott common user from SQL Developer to XC database. That is, this is a container database. Now I am creating one sample table. Then I am going to insert one record and going to select that record. Yes, so I can able to create table, insert one record and select the table. So these tables are stored in XC, that is XC container database of Oracle Database 2020 Express Edition. So you can see the table is got created. So common user creation is successful in Oracle Database 2020. Now next I am going to log in as a sys user to pluggable database. Okay, I am going to create one new connection. So now I'm going to log in as a sys user to pluggable database running on Oracle Database 2020 Express Edition. So pluggable database will be running inside the container database. So all the users all those users who are in container database have access to pluggable database. Okay, so this is the syntax. Service name is xcpdb1. So yes, I can able to connect. So now I connected as a sysdba to xcpdb1, the xcpdb1 pluggable database. So now next step is I am going to grant some privilege to user called pdb-admin. So the pdb-admin user is available by default, but I am going to grant some privileges so that you can create tables inside the pluggable database. Okay. So same syntax only. Grant unlimited table space to pdb-admin and grant connect resource DBA to pdb-admin. Execute this query. Yes, grant is succeeded. Okay, let me minimize it. Now I am creating one new connection. Now I am going to connect pdb-admin user to xcpdb1 pluggable database. pdb-admin, provide the password for pdb-admin. Role is default role. Type the IP address of the Linux box. Okay, service name xcpdb1. So by default, xcpdb1 will be up and running in Oracle Database 2020 Express Edition. Okay, I can able to connect now. Now I am going to create one table. So I am copying this query here and paste. Yes, table is created. I am just modifying this line. So all the container users have access to this pluggable database also. Not only pdb-admin, external user also can access this pluggable database. Yes. So I can able to create, insert and select records from pluggable database as a pdb-admin. Okay, so everything is fine now. Make sure that you have provided the correct database name. So pluggable database means you need to provide service name as xcpdb1. So xcpdb1 is a default pluggable database name, and if you want to connect to container database means provide the name xc as a SID. So xc is the container database. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to stop and start the pluggable database called xcpdb1. So I am going to that sys user who is logged into container database, that is called xc. So I am executing this query, select star from $pdbs will give you the what are the pluggable database is up and running. So you can see that xcpdb1 is in read write mode, that is it's up and running by default. Now I am going to stop this pluggable database. Alter pluggable database xcpdb1 close. So this will stop and close the connections of xcpdb1. Yes, pluggable database xcpdb1 is altered. Now let us check whether I can able to connect pdb-admin. So before that I am checking the status. Yes, you can see that pluggable database has been stopped and showing as mounted. Now I am testing pdb-admin. Yes, so I am unable to connect now. Okay, now let us start the pluggable database. So this is the query to start the pluggable database. alter pluggable database XCPDB1 open. That's it. Yes, pluggable database XCPDB1 is altered. Let me connect once again. Yes, I can able to connect the pluggable database as a PDB admin. Okay, so I think now you are aware of how to create a common user and how to log in as a pluggable database user.